everybody. Dusty and I are out, and Kylan, Ryder and Braden. They're too cool. They didn't want to come with us. But we are out shopping for the $35 grocery budget today. And I want to explain how I'm going to do this a little bit. So when you're working with such a crazy tight budget, you need to find sales. Anything clearanced out, you got to try to get the cheapest that you can. So that's going to be what I'm doing today. And you guys already know I like to store hop because it ensures that I get the best deal on the items that I'm getting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for clearance meat, clearance veg, and then work my way around that and see what I can come up with. That is the best way in my head to work with such a small budget. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this. Buying things by the pound instead of giant sacks can really help stretch your budget for the week. Hence the potatoes. A lot of my grocery stores don't have that option. Usually it's just Food City and occasionally Ingles. So instead of me paying $7 for a sack of potatoes when I don't need a whole sack, I'm just going to be spending a little under $2 for the amount I need. Help stretch the budget. So here I see this gigantic Boston butt for $6.40. I could probably get a few meals out of this. Same with this. I think I want to do the Boston butt because it's really big. It's a good price right now, and I can stretch it over a few meals. I'm feeling good. Okay, not a lot of goodies at Food City. Got taters and the Boston butt. The Boston butt I'm pretty okay with. So on to the next store, which is Dollar Tree. Luckily, most of our stores are like within a mile of each other. See? Oh yeah. Oh, go Kylan. Go Kylan. I turn my cheap music up and I'm puffing my chest. Okay, so I don't have to spend $3 on a whole gallon of milk. I'm just going to get a small one. Help stretch my budget this week. The cheapest 2 pounds of beans in town. Beans. Cheapest 2 pounds of rice in town. Lord mercy, I can't talk today. Okay, these are also the cheapest muffins I have found around. So I'm getting these, not muffins, English muffins. Also, besides the Cajun, they have this. That sounds kind of bomb. Look at everything. Last stop. Okay, now I'm at Wally World and I want to start building my meal plan around what I already have. You all will notice that I don't buy very many canned veggies. Just because I don't personally think it's that great of a deal. I can do better with like frozen or something. No, I do occasionally when I find it at a good price. Fun fact, Kraft mac and cheese was invented during the Great Depression because it's a cheap way to feed your family, and it's still cheap. Pots of gold and rainbows and a red balloon. Beans. It's what's for dinner. Wait, what was the saying in the 90s? Beef. Not today. We living through inflation so it's beans, not beef. Back in the day, these used to be 88 cents. It's shaped awful funny. Figured out the conversations I fall off a mess. Food City haul, $1.35 for these little red potatoes and $6.40 for this large, to me large, Boston butt. Food City total, $7.75. Dollar Tree haul, 2 cans of the Southgate beef stew. One of these is awesome, and this is $3 at Walmart, and it's $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Small container shelf-stable milk, 2 pounds of rice, and English muffins. Dollar Tree total, $7.50. Walmart haul, 3 packages of the mac and cheese, bologna, yes, bologna, 5 pounds, yes, 5 pounds of all-purpose flour, green beans, mixed veggies, lettuce, a little pack of noodles, and bananas, bringing my total to, Walmart total is $10.04. This is my Ingles haul. I found some vegetable stir-fry marked down, as well as some broccoli and cauliflower, mild cheddar cheese, and a special today, chicken legs for $3.12, and their cheddar cheese was on sale for $1.58. This total was $7.68. Bringing my total to... Yeah, lots has happened since you last saw me 2 seconds ago. Okay. My total is $32.97. I have $2.03 left. I'll show you where that's going. 12 count eggs at the Dollar Tree is $1.25. I have my own chickens. I ain't buying eggs because I got a ton. So, $1.25 of that is eggs. Okay, and the rest, I'm going to say it's a tomato. Tomatoes are so cheap right now, you can probably get this big tomato for like 50 cents or something. So I'm just going to say the rest of that, tomato. I grow my own tomatoes in the backyard, so that's where the rest of that budget is going. I'd be looking a little rough right now. But you notice that I didn't get yeast for this. That's because yeast is a pantry item. I have so much yeast coming out of my ears. Ew. And I have some yeast left over from my last $35 budget where I included it in that. And I was like, you know what? We do pantry here. Like, we have an emergency pantry. We want to keep a well-stocked pantry. That's what we're showing everybody. I'm not going to buy any more yeast because I have so much yeast. So that's a pantry item I'm using. Yeast. We're going to be using oil, salt, pepper, seasonings, things like that, like normal. Okay, so I'm feeling good about this. We're going to be doing a little bit of prep work today, which includes making bread. We'll be making some bread. And I can't remember what all else I had up in here, but I'll tell you when we get to it. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my prep work. I have noticed that if I do my prep work, like my baking, before a week when I have a tight budget that I'm working with, it really helps save my sanity. So I'm just making my loaf of bread that I always make. This is the only recipe that I like. It's nice, soft, and fluffy. I'll leave a link to the video that I made showing you guys how to make this bread so I don't have to show you how to make it again. So this bread is fail-proof. It's so easy. If I can do it, you can do it, baby. So I'm just going to let that rise. And as I'm letting this rise, I decided I was going to go ahead and start making tortillas for the week. I will also leave this recipe in the description box below, but it is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a stick of butter, a cup of water, and 2 teaspoons of salt. In the middle of this, I decided, you know what, Brooke, you just need to double this recipe because everybody loves these tortillas, and it'll really help you out if you just go ahead and double it. So that's what I did. And do you see that drink right there? Calipico? I can't remember. Dusty got me that drink and I finally opened it and tried it, and that thing is bomb.com. It was so good. Anyways, besides the point. So I'm just working my tortilla dough, and after I work it a little, I'm going to let it rest for 10 minutes so it can chill out. And after I let it rest, I'm just going to start halving it. Half it once, half it again, half it twice. I'm going to half this baby until I get 32 balls of tortillas. Remember, I doubled the recipe. Now, if you just use the regular recipe, it makes around 16 tortillas, but I made 32 tortillas, baby. So I just kept halving these things. Yeah, that's a lot of work. So, like I said, prep work, if you do it in the beginning of the week, it will really help save your sanity because sometimes you just don't feel like making tortillas after a long day. So, if you do it, dedicate one day to just doing all your preps like this, it will help by golly. Now, I don't have a comal. So I just start cooking mine on a nonstick skillet. So just go ahead and start heating you up a nonstick skillet like you see me do right there. See it? Yep. And you just flip it. It takes about a minute and a half on each side. Super simple, super easy. And these are the best tortillas you'll ever have. I don't think they're authentic. That's a lot of tortillas. Now let's get back to the bread that we're making. So I'm just going to put extra butter on those loaf pans. It really helps that bread slide out easily. So if you have extra butter to dedicate to those loaf pans, I suggest you use it because it'll make it a little easier for you. And this is honestly the best dough I have made so far with this loaf bread. It was so pretty. I was so proud of it. But yeah, so I'm just making that regular old recipe that I linked in the description box below. Super easy. I'm telling y'all, if I can make this, you can make it. After sitting about 30 minutes, she's ready to go in the oven at 350. She's so dang pretty and majestic. The oven was heated, so I was like, hey, Brooke, go ahead and start making the muffins too. They last a few days. Go ahead and make it. So I just started making a basic muffin recipe. This is pretty much a blank canvas recipe. And I add cinnamon at the end of this, you will see, but you don't have to add cinnamon if you don't want to. If you have berries or anything, bananas, what have you, you can add it to this blank canvas muffin recipe and they will come out perfect every time. It is so easy and they are so delicious. My sister Nikki used to make this all the time when we were growing up and it was my favorite muffin. So I'm just going to make sure that I grease up that muffin pan real good. Now I had to do 2 rounds of this because it made 15 muffins and I only had a 12 muffin pan maker. That's weird. Anyways, so I had to do 2 rounds of this, but they are absolutely delicious. I swear you guys need to try that muffin recipe. Now, you might be wondering, Brooke, those tops aren't done. Okay, see the bottom? They're done. Now you can let them get a little more brown on top if you want to, but what I'm going to do is dip these in butter and then cinnamon sugar. And it looks all pretty and gorgeous. Plus, they're done. They're done. And I got to make the rest of that batter, too. Now, what I have here, I have some butter melted. And I have a tablespoon of cinnamon with a 1/3 cup of sugar mixed together. I'm just going to dip the tops in the butter. And dip it in the cinnamon sugar. And these keep for quite a while, actually. That's what they look like. And they're so tasty. My sister Nikki used to make these all the time. I have 3 more cooking in the oven. Prep work done this week. I have 32 tortillas that I made. Handmade tortillas, baby. 2 loaves of bread. And I have 15 cinnamon sugar muffins. You're probably wondering, Brooke, do you even have any flour left? And the answer is, yeah, about a cup in there. There's probably a cup. Yeah, I know. But I was editing this video just now, and I realized this video is going to be over an hour and a half long. So I have noticed that when I do these videos where I have to do a lot of prep work like this, and I'm stretching my budget as far as I can, so I'm home making a lot of things. The videos tend to be really long, so I'm having to cut this up in 2 parts. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but she's coming. She's ready. I'm editing her right now. It's coming. But this was just, you know, my shopping and how I prepped everything. And we're good. We're good. But I thought this was the perfect stopping point to end part 1. All right. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you guys so much. Remember, as always, be positive, kind, happy, and please Please don't hate me for making a two-parter, but I just did not want it to be an hour and a half long video. I didn't know if I could keep anybody's attention, if y'all would get bored of me. I don't know. That's a really long video, so I was like, I gotta half this up somewhere, and this is the perfect spot. Okay, anyways, I'll see you part 2. I love you guys.